feels like someone else, but also more yourself than you've ever felt.
This feels like getting to live in your imagination.
Seeing everyone again brought back so many memories.
Being able to be in this show will be one of the greatest treasures of my life.
Hey, yo, welcome to the new year, bitches. It's 2022, and we're in Patreon with cheese. How you doing, Liz? As always, I'm joined by my wonderful editor, Liz Esten. That's what I do, isn't it?
Yes, that's what you say. That is correct. It's been a while, so I understand.
It's been a minute.
This is the first episode of the year.
Yeah. Once again, we're going to take a little break next week, and we're going to talk about all that jazz. But we're back at Encore at the moment. So, Liz, episode 6 of Encore. We're talking about Oklahoma. I forget what city this is from, but it felt very white.
It's Georgia.
That is the reason it felt very white.
Yes, we're in Georgia. We're in Georgia this time. We're whiter than we were in Texas.
Crazy. I mean, Texas is a little bit more metropolitan lately. Liz, I don't think you're going to agree with me on this. In fact, I'm certain you're not going to agree with me on this, but this is the best episode of the series so far.
Yeah, I fully agree.
What?
I fully agree.
No, what? You're crazy. I don't believe that.
I fully agree with Jess. It's a miracle.
I think this is the best case scenario for what this kind of show could be. We have big life changes. Our two leads fell in love and are still together somehow. One of the gentlemen that played a very big dancing character unfortunately did become paraplegic, and then he discovered that didn't handicap him away from becoming be able to sing and dance on stage. And Ali Stoker comes in and is like, "Hey, I'm awesome, and I'm Ali Stoker, and you can be awesome like me, Ali Stoker."
Ali Stoker is amazing. Shout out to her.
She's incredible.
She's incredible.
Cast her as Nessa in the Wicked movie, you cowards.
Seriously, cast her as Nessa, people. Please. I mean, I first saw her on the Glee project, unfortunately.
I mean, we all got to stop somewhere. Isn't that where Supergirl was found? Like on the Glee
No,
project?
that was where Blake Jenner was found. He won the show.
Blake Jenner?
Yeah.
Is that like one of the Kardashian?
No, he's
children?
unrelated to the Kardashians.
Okay.
He's unrelated. He's very white.
Fair enough.
He's also in the Merrily We Roll Along movie. He's also a piece of shit.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
That guy. Fuck him.
Yeah. I mean, no one watches Merrily for Frank, to be honest. Let's be clear. We watch it for Jason Alexander as the producer, and that's it.
That's what I've learned watching.
That's his first Broadway
one
role.
song from Merrily. So
that's the best song in Merrily. That's like one of my favorite songs ever.
It's a great song. It was stuck in my head for like a solid minute or so.
I think I performed that song once for Emily Clark and Christy as an audition to be in one of Emily's cabarets. And I performed You Got Trouble instead because I got nervous about doing it. But I do love that song, and it's one of the few Sondheims that I could basically do verbatim beginning to end. It's a great, great song.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're talking about Franklin Shepherd Inc. We're not talking in code.
Yes, we're talking about that. We're hinting at a video
Encore,
that's in production.
Maybe the video will... No, it won't, because this is posting literally tomorrow.
Literally, it's supposed
or tonight.
Yeah, tonight, yeah.
Literally, as soon as we're done recording these, I will literally do a quick, dirty edit and get this up there.
You're getting this Dyson fresh. Fresh and toasty.
Fresh.
It's a fresh toasty
What's
episode.
in the news right now? Sidney Poitier died?
Yeah, Sidney Poitier died today. It was very sad. 2022 is kicking our ass. We already lost Betty.
Yeah, but sadly, Rocco still survives.
Rocco is still fucking here. Fucking Rocco.
Stealing the oatmeal raisin cookies from Elmo.
Rocco can't even fucking eat a cookie. This is fucking absurd.
Twitter. Sometimes Twitter's good.
Sometimes Twitter is delightful.
That was what Twitter was like in 2014.
Yeah.
You weren't there, but I promise you, it was nice.
I was not there. I got Twitter in 2015 because I had to for a college class. So now I still have Twitter.
Yeah.
Follow me on Twitter at Elizabeth Esten.
Sucks. Follow her on Twitter.
I never tweet, but I'm basically a Musical Cheese promotional account, so I'm just here to remind you that Musical Cheese stuff exists.
I don't think that's fair. If you tweet about literally anything else, I still retweet it. That's the
That's
rule.
true. Jess is the ultimate Twitter hype man.
I try to be.
Yeah, you succeed.
I try to be. Sometimes it doesn't even work for me. I'm not even my own hype man sometimes.
You had it. You let I quote tweeted sideways and it got to 50 likes, which is a record for me. So
Really?
I don't get that many likes.
Oh. I think my most was probably when Sondheim died and I got like 50,000 likes.
Yeah. Also that tweet where you mentioned the Bernadette reference in Tick Tick Boom.
Oh, yeah, that was big.
That went huge.
That got into a Howard Ho video, and I was just casually watching, and then he mispronounces my last name, and I was like, you did what now? And that was how I found out Howard Ho follows me.
People mispronounce my last name. Well,
Esten?
People say Esten when I was younger. They said, like, oh, your name's Esten, right? I'm like, no. There's no A.
I mean, my last name's a little bit more embarrassing. Like, not a week goes by where some troll doesn't come into my Twitter and it's like, I'm restraining from making a joke about your last name. I'm like, I've heard them all. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, you told me you told me if you can make jokes about my last name one time. So I'm like, no, I refuse.
You can.
I don't want to. I refuse.
McAnally. My favorite one was when I worked for the government, and this great girl, we're still in touch, comes up to me and she's like, Jesse McConnelly? And I was like, that is my favorite mispronunciation ever.
That's amazing. I would just go with that the rest of your life.
That's a good, that was a good mispronunciation that I prefer to my real name.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Encore.
I know, Oklahoma.
Wow. What do you think of the musical Oklahoma? I know you had to do some work on it in the past for reasons we won't disclose here, but yes. What do you think of it?
I don't mind Oklahoma. There's aspects to it that slightly bother me. But I think to a degree you can scratch it up to the time period which the play was written and the time period it takes place. I'm not saying there's aspects of it that aren't like sexist and kind of gross. Especially, like, the masculinity of it. But, like, it's, like, especially the Poor Judd is Dead song, which doesn't even feature in this episode because this is a kid-friendly version.
I love that song, though.
It's a really good song. It's really compelling. Rodgers Hammerstein, good work.
Okay, we're going to talk about Rodgers and Hammerstein for a second because
yes,
I am currently on a carousel high at the moment. Do you know anything about Carousel aside from like my references? I don't know if you saw.
I watched your video. I did watch your dumb video on Carousel. I enjoyed it. So.
I flip flop back and forth on Carousel every other day. There is just one 10-minute scene that is so good that carries the rest of the 3-hour musical. Like, there is a 10-minute song in this show that is so flippin' good that you don't care the rest of it ain't that great. The score is immaculate. I'd say the first 35 minutes of this show is a perfect musical. The first 35 minutes, 0 faults, 10 out of 10 perfect musical. And then the rest of the show happens. However, I am a director in real life. You know this, Liz. That's kind of what I do for my real world.
Yeah, and the first line in your Twitter bio is Google calls me a film director.
That is, I don't know why Google knows that, but that is what they have me under when you Google my name. It says Jesse McAnally, film director.
You are a director. I've seen some of your films. They're good. So.
Yes. So I'm going to pitch to you. Who owns it? Warner Brothers. Come to me. I have a pitch for the Carousel film to make it finally work. Okay. I will shoot it just like Spielberg did West Side Story.
I took a pitching class once, so I'm ready.
All right. You're going to give me a grade. All right. Picture this. We have a problematic lead in Billy Bigelow. He is a man that hit his wife, steals to try to provide for this child that's unborn, and when he gets caught, he kills himself, goes to heaven, and then they're like, you were a piece of shit, but you can go down for one day and try to fix things up. And then he goes down, meets his daughter, immediately hits her, and then he goes back up to heaven. They're like, you fucked up, one job, don't hit her. And then he goes back. He goes back down again. She's graduating high school, and he's like, you know what? And he's like, my sins aren't the sins of my daughter, and other people's success aren't their success. Make your own way. And that sinks in for her, and he gets a slight redemption. All right. So that's the basic summary of Carousel in and of itself.
For those of you who didn't know, including me.
Some of the most gorgeous music you've ever heard in it. The Carousel Waltz, which is just an opening overture. One of the best musical pieces ever written, in my opinion. And I don't even like classical musicals all that much. So here's my pitch. Who is America's problematic fave that constantly does shit that pisses us off, has a great singing voice, is from Boston, where this musical takes place, or Rhode Island, like clam bake is
New
literally
England, the New England area. Yeah.
Yes. So, who would it be? I'm picking Seth MacFarlane. He keeps doing all these horrible things, has this very edgy persona, but for some reason we always keep coming back, and he has the voice of an angel. And he can do a good Rhode Island accent that isn't distracting. So we cast him. We have the integrated Family Guy audience coming in. He can nail this role. We kind of rough him up a bit. We got him as our lead. We've already got the preordained audience coming in. We already have this incredible score. So how are we going to fix up this storyline? Well, we don't make it explicit. We kind of make the wife beating a little bit more implied and a lot less explicit. A much more unintentionally emotionally abusive do his own stuff going on in his world. Seth MacFarlane could play that. He doesn't have much range, but he has a little bit.
No.
Then who do we get who is a soprano, who is like one of the most well-respected actresses currently working today? I'm thinking maybe a Broadway performer. Who are you thinking?
I'm bad at vocalist types, so
Let's just think for a second. Who is a good soprano that somehow hit the big time? I mean, Audra McDonald could do it, and that was kind of her breakout performance when she was younger, but she might be a little too old for it. But so who would be the heir apparent of that?
You're gonna have to tell
Laura Osnes, but
no,
she's hella problematic. We need a new Laura. Sierra Boggess. Sierra Boggess could play the role. We bring in a Broadway star because we don't need as big a name for the secondary.
We already have Seth coming in to get people in, so we don't need a female lead to be a big name.
But then we've also got our third lead, Carrie Pepperidge, who is like
the daughter,
girl's best friend. And
the girl's best friend. Got it.
The girl's best friend, and she has her own marriage thing. And we can cast them with like well-respected Cecily Strong types, someone that can be a really comic presence.
Maybe we're back to Jessie Mueller, so she can do it again.
Jessie Mueller would probably be good as the lead, to be honest.
That's true. Jessie Mueller would be good, yeah.
Yeah, she was on Broadway as a lead. And I
saw her in Waitress. She's very good.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
So fill it all up, and then by the end, we have him go to hell. He still is damned for his deeds, but at least he knows he's going to damnation, making his daughter's life better. And he doesn't hit her. He does not hit his daughter.
Thank God.
He gets angry, she gets scared, and that's it. I feel like that's enough.
Is his daughter played by Dove Cameron?
Yes. Let's do that. Dove Cameron.
Because that'd be perfect.
So we get Dove Cameron as the daughter. She shows up for 3 days, does her scenes, and then leaves the movie forever. And then Seth MacFarlane pays for his actions, but is happy to go to the damnation because he will have left his daughter better. And I feel like that's a much more bittersweet ending. He doesn't immediately get accepted back to heaven because he did one good thing.
That's like that's what they did in All Dogs Go to Heaven. Because they had the dog go to heaven, and then the dog was like, I don't want to be in heaven. I'm a bad person. So he's like, okay, bye. And then he became a good person and went back to heaven.
Yeah, I don't want to... But the thing is, All Dogs Go to Heaven had the dog become a good person.
That's true. The dog did become a good person.
This one, he just hits his daughter. He got one more swing at a family member.
I do enjoy removing the child abuse aspect. That's good.
Yeah, the thing, it's so wacky. Like, let me describe for you that scene. He comes down from heaven with a star from heaven, and he's like, hey, you're a cute girl, like, in a fatherly way. He's like, I got a gift for you, and it's a star. And she's like, that's weird that you're giving me a gift, stranger. He's like, take the gift! Boom!
Okay.
And then she...
Ew.
Yeah, but the worst part, and this was cut in the Broadway version, the mom comes out, and me and Andrew made fun of it so much on our episode. The daughter's like, oh my God, when he hit me, it didn't feel like I got hit. It felt like as tender as a kiss. And then she asks, is it possible to like get hit real good and hard and not feel a thing? And then the mother's like, yes, it is possible to be get hit good and hard and not feel a thing. And it said like the moral of the musical.
Fuck
So
that
just
noise.
cut that out.
Fuck that noise. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. So Rodgers and Hammerstein's Carousel, one of their best scores. Terrible
One of the
story.
worst plots.
Oklahoma, okay plot. I'm kind of actually into it. It's a good like three-hander.
Yeah, I like the series of love triangles. It's very interesting. Keeps story engaging, even though Judd Fry is kind of an over-exaggeration of a toxic man.
Have you looked into Oklahoma That Fucks?
Oh, I have looked into it, but there's no bootlegs of it, so it's really harsh.
In theory, I've got tickets to see it in February when it comes to Detroit. But Omicron and all that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see if that even happens. But in the Judd Fry is framed as a good guy, basically. They frame him as like a socially awkward guy, and they make doesn't come to murder them at the end. He just shows up, gives Curly the gun, and Curly shoots them, and they're covered with blood for the rest of the musical.
Yeah.
And you know where they do like the mock court case, and they're like, okay, so self-defense, right? He came at you, right?
Yeah.
And it's much more dark in that framing.
Oh yeah.
They take a lot of the toxicity away from Judd Fry and make him an actual option.
Person. Yeah. Like, the love triangle scenes are conceivable now because Judd Fry is not a weird, gross monster. He's now like
porn all over the walls.
But he has boobs all over his walls. I've seen the Hugh Jackman version for context.
Yeah.
I've seen little bits of the movie.
The movie cuts out Judd Fry's one song, which is "Lonely Room," which is one of the best musical theater villain songs ever.
Yeah. I also do. I do like one of the things I like about Oklahoma is the other love triangle with I forgot her name. Ado Annie.
Ado Annie.
I like the Ado Annie love triangle because it's a woman who owns her sexuality and she knows it and she doesn't give a shit what people think, and I fucking love it.
But she has to learn to to tame herself at the end.
She does. That's a little problematic, but I do like her character in the beginning. I'm like, yes. I'm
a fuck who I want, where I want, what I want.
And I respect your choices, Ado Annie. Do what the fuck you want.
Yeah, but then there's the racial shit, like Ali Hakim,
who's played by a white person in the Encore version. Because
back to Encore. That they just kind of glance right over that.
Yeah, they cut to him saying he's just like, I'm excited to play him, but they never got to what the racial.
We never see any of it. He's like, I'm excited to be playing Ali Hakim.
And then they show him play one line, and then they move on.
Don't blame him. Good choice.
That was a good choice. Also, I love this version of Oklahoma contains no death or violence that the original has. Like, it just ends with them being married, and there's no quick court session. Judd Fry is dead and all this other shit. They just cut to the wedding, and it's like...
It looks like the most boring plot on the planet if you just look at what they do. And they also take it all out of order. Like, they play clips in the wrong order, and I don't usually... They didn't do that for any of the other musicals.
Yeah, that's weird. I guess Oklahoma's a weird show because it gets super dark.
Yeah.
And they don't want to, get into the death, especially... They do show them rehearsing old poor Judd is dead.
Yeah.
But they never show it.
I think they just wanted to focus on the guy playing Will Parker and him being in a wheelchair and still dancing and all that, which is the stuff you should focus on.
Deeply compelling. Like, Woody as a character, you can say, because this is kind of like these shows are all kind of fake. It's his arc, and it's really it's really well done, and you really connect with him immediately.
All right, let's talk VIP. I mean, that's obviously Woody. Woody
obviously
is
Woody.
VIP.
Woody.
But the sad part is, I think the worst player is Ado Annie, who she's trying so hard.
She's trying. I relate to her a lot. I had a lot of confidence issues in high school, and I get it. It's really hard to go back to your old high school and relive all those moments you hated yourself. I get how she feels, and she just needed more time, I think. She didn't.
Yeah,
she
and I
needed
don't
more
think
than
she
5
did
days.
even bad. I feel like this is just a very good production, so by default, she wasn't that great.
Yeah, and she was next to Woody, and Woody's doing like
Yeah.
a great job, and she's like trying.
Yeah.
She did her best though. Like, I don't
Oh,
blame her.
actually, the real least valuable players were the parents that come back
My favorite
that
part.
don't have any lines.
I was skimming through it this morning before we recorded this, and my favorite part was when the mom is like, "Oh, I messed up that line," and the dad is like, "No, you didn't mess up the line. Laura, Mr. Q, and so that's why you messed up your line." I'm just like,
Oh.
wow,
They're
what
both toxic.
what a burn, guys. What a burn. Oh God. Dear God. I mean, they're both theater teachers.
Yeah.
So
They're named after the theater.
yeah, the theater's literally named after them. So
Yeah, I feel like their egos are soaring high.
yeah.
However, their daughter and son-in-law are Lori and Curly,
and it's
they're
cute.
cute.
It's so cute. Like I
All right, I had this thought while watching them. They feel like sitcom parents. Like
They do.
They look and feel like Lizzie McGuire's parents.
they do look like Lizzie McGuire's parents. I kept, whenever they were interviewed, I kept thinking they're gonna have a precocious son run into the shot and just be like, "Mom, Dad, I'm in trouble at school," or some shit like that. I'm like, I want this to be a sitcom with these two.
I would watch an entire like fuck the Kardashians. Show me this.
Oh, yeah,
this
that'd be
middle class
so
family that
cute.
has it together.
That'd be so cute. They're just both drama teachers at a high school, and they're just like doing their best life. Like, I want to watch that show. Give them a spin-off, Disney. Give them a call.
Yeah, I'd watch it. No one let them host Encore season 2. Fuck Kristen Bell. She
Yeah.
barely showed up to.
Kristen
I
Bell
would
was
like
in the
them to
first
go
episode,
to each.
and she's yet to come back.
Yeah, I mean she's there in the intros, and that's it.
Yeah. Also, this episode is no Adam Wachter. I hate to report.
Okay, let's talk about the crew they bring in. So all the other ones, it's like, I was the director of Ragtime on Broadway. I'm a Broadway choreographer. And this guy's like, I take Broadway shows and I make them for kids. And I choreograph some in LA someplace.
And the
And
music director is like, I do music.
That was it. Like, this is the most, like, it's not professionals coming in. This is just like, oh, this is just a community theater production. Got it.
I think that's what made it so charming. It was just like, oh,
I think that's why this one worked.
yeah.
You didn't have these Broadway people coming in treating these poor folks like garbage.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously, they're just like, you guys are doing a great job, even when the singing wasn't great a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Or what was it? The worst they did was Ada Lanny, where it's like, hey, you're performing and I can see you performing, and that's not fun.
yeah, it's not fun. Yeah, don't think about it, just do it. Which I've heard in many, many theatrical spaces in my years of doing stage crew and watching people direct people.
So anything else you got to say about Encore? Anyone else?
I don't know. Can't think of anything. This episode was just cute. It was just really cute. It was really delightful.
The kissing.
The kiss.
They,
That's what I was thinking of bringing up. The kissing. So for context, director, his name's Tim McDonald. I wrote it down.
Yeah.
His name is Tim McDonald. I was like, hey, so Lori and Curly have this kiss at the end of the show, and it's very impactful. So I don't want you to kiss for the next 3 days.
which I think that's a cute idea. Like,
Yeah.
as a director, and I would have a difficulty because I see my girlfriend a lot and I love kissing her. But
Yeah.
you go days and days without kissing your boyfriend.
I do. I go days, go many days. I go weeks sometimes.
Like, you're like, pussies.
No, that's literally my thought. Just like, get over it.
I mean, if you're used to kissing your wife all times,
Yeah.
every time. And
That's true. I'm more
and
used to the separation, so I'm like, I'll see him when I see him.
Raises his hands. Wait, do blowjobs count as a kiss?
I don't want to talk about that.
Answer me! Answer me, director man!
I refuse to answer you.
He just gets vehemently angry at him.
He does. Also, my favorite thing is there's a pre-interview before, like, 2 days before the show. He's just like, we went to bed last night, we didn't kiss, and it was super easy, and it was totally fine. And then it's like, but can this please be over now? please. It needs to be over. He's like trying to play it G-rated right now. It's just like...
like, the camera's off. Y'all can't fuck either.
You guys can have sex. You guys can have sex. That was my first thought. I'm like, oh god. Everyone's like, they just got married a few years ago, so it's gonna be really hard for them. Also, the episode literally ends with them like, hey, shut up and kiss me, woman. She's like, don't talk to me anymore. I don't want to talk.
They seem cute. They seem like a legit
so
happy couple.
cute.
I feel like that was cute up by the camera person, though.
Yeah, that was definitely cute by the camera person. Like, that was... But they were so cute without the force of it. It was just like, aw.
Well,
also, even when they were helping their parents run lines, it was like helping the daughter's parents run lines. Like, aw. What a cute little family. I want a sitcom of these people.
Yeah, the theater people.
The
Honestly,
theater sitcom.
Take them Encore Season 2 to every town. Let them help coach and all that. That would be...
They're all drama teachers. That'd be fun.
Yeah, they'd do it.
Adam Wachter can show up every once in a while and be Adam Wachter.
No, Adam Wachter is the host. I can't.
Adam Wachter is the host.
Adam Wachter is the host.
Adam Wachter is the host, yes. Adam Wachter needs to be the host. This continues to be an Adam
Wachter
Wachter Stan podcast.
Yeah, we are only here for Adam Wachter every day.
Literally.
Day. I should invite him to another Patreon meetup.
Oh, you should. I've been simping over him on podcasts for so long.
The thing is, he's just in the UK, so that's rough. We
all
know how late that is for our Ewan and Mina when they join us, so.
Yeah, Ewan, I'm glad he does come to meetups, even if it's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And Mina's delightful. Mina, if you're listening to this, you're delightful.
Yes, we love you all. But on that note, what is our cheese ratings on this episode?
Cheese rating. Crap, I forgot to think of a cheese rating.
I'll go first. I think it was pretty Gouda.
You just picked a Gouda for the pun, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, I'm gonna pick something I'm pretty sure is a southern thing. I think so. I've seen enough Top Chef that I know about food. I watched a lot of Top Chef as a kid. Even when I was 8, I got really into Top Chef. And I watched it with my parents. That's how cool I was at 8 years old. Hell yeah.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
If it's a gay contestant, is it become bottom chef?
There's been many gay contestants and is not.
Dang it! Well, what if it's just a chef show just for gay men?
I think like that's the gay spinoff would be called Bottom Chef.
Green light at Food Network.
Food Network. No, that's Bravo. But Bravo, call us.
Yeah,
Wait, or Logo.
I won't
even better. Logo. Call us. You're the gay network. You'd make that.
Yeah.
Totally. But yeah, I'm going to give it a pimento cheese. Because, I don't know, it's southern. I really like this episode. It's very good. It's very Gouda.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I can make puns
guys.
Too.
You're great at puns, Liz. You're just as much of a dad as I am.
Yeah, I do love a dad joke.
We'll see. Oh, God. We'll see you next time on Patreon with Cheese.
Peace out.
And then what's her nuts? Kristen Bell's like, Encore! I'm in every episode. Watch, I promise.
Dear God. Kristen Bell, I'm always here.
Me and my husband Dak, I really don't have that great a relationship. Watch the TikTok that exposed us.
So many memories.
Being able to be in the show will be one of the greatest treasures of my life.